Do a quick video on how to do the O2 sensors on the Viper, and I apologize that it's a little messy in here, but let me see if I can find, where are they? Got a couple in here, but anyways, I got the Denso ones. I'm trying to find my open one so I can show you why I went with the Densos. This is what a lot of people on the forums recommended, and the reason why, I don't know if this is true or not, this is just what I read, so don't hold me to it. I took one of the OEM ones out already because I wanted to show you the comparison. But if you look closely, obviously this one's really old. I'm pretty sure this is the original one. It's white, something with the tune, of course, we got to look at. But if you look closely, there's only a few holes in here. So one of the things is when it's heating up during the initial startup, that can cause you to not pass emissions. Has to do with this. I don't know if it's a myth. You guys tell me in the comments if it's true or not. And here's the Denso one. This is the aftermarket one. You can see how many holes this thing has in there. So hopefully, for tuning purposes, if anything, it'll be able to read better because it has more, air, I guess, that's covering the surface itself. I don't know. That's just what I read on the forums. And these were the ones they recommended. The model numbers for the upstreams, and I'll have to double check, but it's 234-4766, and the downstream ones I believe are just one number up, which is the 234-4767. I may have those backwards. I'll double check and put it in the comments and link to them where I got them from and everything else. They were actually pretty cheap. I know a lot of you, when you tune it, you just turn off the downstream ones. A lot of tuners prefer that. I'm trying to keep it all legal, so I wanted to have all four in there. So all right, let's go under the car now and take underneath the car, trying to get to the O2 sensors. This is the upstream one, and luckily this one was pretty loose, and I'm wondering if that's what's causing me some of the idle issues that I've had, because it came off pretty easily. Hopefully you guys can see it's really tight under here, but there are the connectors right there, and it goes right here. All I did, there's a special tool you can use for these, but I just used a 22 socket, and I was able to get to it fairly easily. See if I can slide out from underneath so you can kind of see. It's pretty tight under here. So anyways, for the upstream, it's right there down the exhaust manifold. So you've got a lot of room to work with, pretty easy to get to. The top connector and the secondary one, the downstream, that's upstream, and the downstream typically goes right in these holes. And so there's some nice cutouts in here for the Viper to be able to get to it. So missing a couple bolts looking while I'm under here. Suspension definitely needs a little cleanup, but these are the Moton Club Sport, which are adjustable, which is nice. Brakes are probably going to be due here soon. That's my next thing on the list to do, but everything else looking pretty good. A couple of small oil leaks down here where these fittings go. These are the ones that go up to the supercharger, so I may have to double check those connections in there. Anyways, I'll come back to it, but just wanted to show you guys where the location was for this right there. It's just hard to get the light in there and the phone as well. All right guys, I got the new one ready to go. I put some anti-seize compound in there, and these are the holes I was trying to show you. It was kind of hard to get it to focus when I was pointing the camera at myself, but just for comparison, let me hold the two together here real quick so you can kind of see. And you see there's a big difference right there. The left one is the OEM one, and the right one from Denso, just much better, at least for the surface area where that air is flowing. And from what I understand, tuners have an easier time with the Denso one. Anyways, let's go back under the car and put this in. All right, here we go. We just got to get this bad boy back in there, as you can see. So I'm going to put the phone down for a second because it's kind of hard to do this with one hand and holding the phone. All right guys, that wasn't too hard. I was able to thread that in by hand. The heat shield is kind of in the way a little bit, which is a pain, so I'm gonna have to try to bend that backwards a little bit. I also don't want that heat shield rubbing on that O2 sensor, which could have caused the original one to fail. I mean, it was 12 years old, so it's time to change it either way, but I just want to make sure that heat shield is not putting any pressure on this O2. Then all I've got left is to plug it in, and we should be good to go on this one. And I'll tighten it up just a little bit. I don't think you have to tighten this super hard. All right, guys, we're all done with the first one. The connector's kind of a pain in this one because the starter motor's right in the way. So, but really it's not hard at all. I mean, this all, between filming and everything else, jacking up the car, literally it's a five maybe 10-minute job per side while you prep the O2s and put some of that anti-seize grease on there and everything else. Really, really simple to do. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the other side now. All right, here's number 2, and there's also a helicopter hovering right over my house, so I apologize about the noise. But I don't know what it is, but this one was also, which is really rare for an O2, was very loose. I mean, I started on tightening that by hand. I didn't even have to use a tool, so I'm not sure if when they did my motor, they, disconnected these and just didn't tighten them back up, or they're old. I mean, these are the original ones, I believe, so it could be that they're just not, the threads are worn out, or anyways, I am looking forward to see how much better the car runs with the new O2s on there, and should help my tuner a little bit. All right, let's get this one off. All right, guys, I got both of the O2 sensors done in the 06 Viper. Remember, I used 234, and the part number is 4766. That's for the upstream. The downstream is the same number from Denso. It's just 4767. I did double check. So if you want to replace those, pretty easy to do. Took me about 5 minutes to do each side. Luckily, these were already loose. When I had the motor built, I'm guessing they either didn't tighten them up or didn't put any kind of anti-seize, compound in there so that it would be a little more secure. I'm hoping that's the issues I've been having with the little rough idle. So, and also I had issues with the emissions. So I'm hoping with the brand new Denso O2s, much better than the OEM ones, that my idle issues go away and that I'll be able to pass emissions like it should, right? Because the car runs really smooth other than that. So we'll go ahead and start it up and see how she does.